Recognition. Mr. Frost.
No, I just have a question for my colleague from the state of Louisiana, because I'm curious as to where your bill is. Louisiana is the state with the second highest rate of deaths in this nation. You are more likely to be shot standing on a random street in your state than you are in Washington, D.C. So my question is, where's your bill for the occupation of the state of Louisiana to keep your people safe, if you're at all sincere in this?
Gentleman, yield for an answer.
I yield for an answer.
I support state rights. I'm a constitutionalist.
But not D.C.?
Stand by. As a constitutionalist, I support my state, my sovereign state's legislature, which is doing everything it can to push back upon the crime rate of the Democrat-controlled cities.
Okay,
of
so
New Orleans,
I'll take my time back. I'll take my time back.
If you remove
That's the rules.
the crime stats
That's the
of New
rules.
Orleans,
I'll take my time back.
I'll
take my time back. So you only invoke the rules when other people are speaking, not when you're speaking. Okay.
That's your time.
I agree with you. Look, I'm for state sovereignty. So what do you think about California?
Well, California is not where I live. You asked me about my state.
See, you only care, and I'll reclaim my time. I'll reclaim my time. I'll reclaim my time. I'll reclaim my time. I will reclaim my time. The gentleman will stop speaking. I will reclaim my time. You're more likely to be shot standing in a random street in your state,
This is Mr. Frost time,
than anywhere in Washington, D.C. And you're here because you're lapdogs to the President of the United States, who during the election last year, we said time and time again, I reclaim my time.
Down, Mr. Chairman.
All right, hold on.
My colleague just called me a lapdog for the President of the United States. I move for his words to be taken down.
A second.
We'll stand in recess for a second here. Okay, point of order.
My point was that Mr. Frost has a right to his time.
Yeah,
Unobstructed time, an opportunity to speak. And I think if we afforded him that right under the rules, then we wouldn't have this back and forth.
That's fine. He started by asking if people would yield to a question. I think that's how it all started.
He reclaimed his time, at least a half a dozen times.
I'm giving him 3 minutes.
Well,
even though I don't have to because of the rules, I'm giving him 3 minutes.
You're running this hearing, sir.
Okay, I'm giving.
Not a spectator.
Okay, you got 3 minutes, Mr. Frost. Go ahead.
This body is full of lapdogs, doing exactly what the president wants, when he wants it, not pushing back. And what we just heard, this exchange with me and my colleague, is indicative of the problem here. None of you know anything about Washington, D.C. You're talking about a so-called, walking down the street and talking with people that are walking their dogs, people in the restaurants you go to, which might not be full of people from D.C. anyway. And it's just sad. It is sad. We need D.C. statehood. There are people, yes, we need D.C. statehood. We need to put this behind us. We need to stop. It's wild to me that we're here debating with people from the Republican Party, a party that's supposed to be about states' rights and local rule and people, the consent of the governed, which is fundamental to our Constitution and this country. But before you, we have activists, organizers, people who are here to say that they want a voice. They want to be represented by the government that they pay taxes to. Free D.C. Free D.C. And it's just grand to sit here with other members who have higher murder rates than Washington, D.C., but not invite the president to occupy their own state with the military. So I think it's important that we're here today to have this debate, because this is a debate about what's going on in Washington, D.C. and why every American should be concerned. And why, of course, every American should be concerned about what the president's doing, but in many cases, even more concerned about the fact that Congress and that Republicans in Congress want to do nothing about it. And in fact, they want to enable it and do anything the president says. The gentleman couldn't even answer the question about if the bill was drafted with the White House. We know it was drafted with the White House. And so we say free DC, and we'll continue to fight for the people of Washington, D.C., who deserve for their home to be a state, who deserve for their local officials that they voted for, their city council, their members, to make decisions about how to make sure that this is a safer place. And I gotta say, when we talk about crime, when we talk about violence, gun violence has been going down in this country the last 3 years. We still have a lot of work to do, but you guys talk about it and nothing happens. We put forth solutions and pass bills like the Safer Communities Act, and violence goes down in this country. That's the difference between us. I yield back.
All right, family, we need to talk about what just went down in Congress. Congressman Maxwell Frost did not hold back. He flat out told Representative Clay Higgins and others that they're nothing more than lapdogs for Donald Trump. And let me tell you, the room went silent for a second because that was a heavy statement. Now, here's my take. Frost wasn't just insulting Higgins for the sake of a headline. He was making a real point about the way Trump has an iron grip on parts of the Republican Party. Think about it. Over and over again, we've seen GOP lawmakers defend Trump no matter what the facts are, no matter what the courts say, no matter what common sense tells us. And Frost is saying, enough is enough. To me, this clash highlights something bigger than just two lawmakers trading words. It's about loyalty. Who are our elected officials supposed to be loyal to? The Constitution? Their constituents? Or one man who's chasing power at all costs? Because if it's the latter, then democracy takes a back seat, and that should scare all of us. Now, let me be real for a second. Watching Higgins sit there, you could see he was ready to fire back. But there was also this look like he knew Frost had touched a nerve. That's what happens when someone calls out the elephant in the room. Pun intended. And here's the bigger issue. When members of Congress become lapdogs to Trump or to any political figure, it means they're not questioning, they're not debating, they're not representing us. They're just echoing whatever that leader says. And I don't care if you're on the left or the right. Blind loyalty is dangerous. So I want to throw this question to you. Was Frost out of line for saying it like that? Or was he simply telling the truth in plain language? And more importantly, do you feel your representatives are actually standing up for you or just following orders from party leaders? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I know this one's going to spark some real debate. Personally, I respect Frost for having the courage to call it out. Politics has gotten so sanitized with talking points and rehearsed lines. Sometimes we need someone to just say it as it is. If you agree, smash that like button. If you got a different take, let's hear in the comments. I welcome respectful debate. And don't forget to subscribe, because if this is where politics is headed, you know there are going to be even more moments like this that we need to break down together. Let's keep this conversation going, because this isn't just about Higgins or Trump. It's about whether our democracy can survive politicians who are too afraid to stand on their own 2 feet.